Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game Over Winnipeg. Wow, what an exciting game. Second half of a back-to-back against the Edmonton Oilers. My name is Brady. I will be your host here tonight. The Jets win 7-5. Good grief. Can we ask for any more goals? I don't think we can. Just an insane game all around. So many goals back and forth. We're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about it, see what kind of look a little bit further than the goals and see what kind of led to them. What led to the Jets' success tonight? What can they do in the future to keep this going? We'll talk all about it here on Game Over Winnipeg. But first, want to bet? Then get in on the action at Sports Interaction. The boys of summer are back on the diamond, and March Madness is on deck. Bet pregame, live and play, or on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN, or in Ontario, download the app now using the QR code at the bottom of the screen right here. And 19 plus, please play responsibly. If you have any issues with that, please consult the information in the description of the stream here or on the audio. Please do. That's what's most important first and foremost. Okay. Obviously, coming into this game, I'll be honest, I was kind of dreading this game all day, doing this one alone. It's always great to have a guest on when the games don't go well, because it's easier to try and get a little bit of a format in rather than just rambling off every single little thing that didn't go well. And so I'm very thankful for Kishore, who joined me last night, when the Jets and Oilers were back in Edmonton. Tonight, both of them on the second half of a back-to-back, of course, roll into the Canada Life Center to duke it out for the season series. And it looks like the Jets have taken control of the season series. This was the last game between the Jets and Oilers. So, that's always fun, a little bit of bragging rights. But wow, what a game. We're going to get into it all. But first, there were some lineup changes here today. Most notably, Vlad Nemestikov, the lone trade deadline day piece that the Jets added, joins the lineup here, and he ends up getting put on a line with Adam Lowry and Morgan Barron. This is kind of where I would see him once the lineup is, all back to health. It seems like they added him to the team to add some sort of defense, an extra defensive player that can play third line minutes, help Adam Lowry and Morgan Barron shut down the game. We'll talk about his game today because he certainly made an impression here tonight. I will definitely say that. Again, I just want to go back to mine and Kishore's criticism of the trade deadline. We just wanted more, and we thought that the big issue was scoring. Of course, tonight here, the scoring was not an issue. So, if the Jets can get back to being, a team that has top-end scorers that actually are able to put the puck in the net, I really do like the ad of Vlad Nemestikov, like genuinely. And same with Nino. Nino's been one of my favorite players since he's joined the team. He's one of the few guys who seems like he'll battle and fight for pucks and provide support to his teammates. So yeah, again, those moves, mostly the big frustration is just the philosophy behind it. Would have liked a bigger swing, but Chevy says he has confidence in this group. If the top end can get back to scoring, then, the bottom end is looking a lot better. That's for sure. But yeah, other than that, obviously Vlad Nemestikov joins the lineup here tonight. Carson Kuhlman comes out, as well as Logan Stanley gets swapped out for Dylan Samberg, which, on a back-to-back, I'm not surprised, especially considering Samberg tends to be the one that Rick Bowness trusts a lot more of the two of them. And with yesterday's apologies for my language, but yesterday's clusterfuck of penalties, I agree with you, Rick. I certainly would have removed Logan Stanley, one of the guys who just takes dumb penalties all the time, from the lineup to hopefully maybe calm things down for the Jets, as well as Samberg is just the better defenseman of the two. Like, let's just be honest here. I don't think that I have to argue with anyone about that. But then we get to see Nate Schmidt is scratched. That's a bit odd. This is the first time today, we get Rick Bowness applying a bit more accountability to some of the veterans on the team. Who knows? Maybe something's ailing him. Maybe he's a little bit bruised up. It could be that, we'll find out later. I'm sure someone will ask, and just to clarify if that was just a healthy scratch for accountability's sake, or if that was just, maybe just a maintenance day for him. But it was just very odd to see him pulled out, because honestly, looking at yesterday's game, I don't remember anything, specific to Nate Schmidt. The only thing I do remember is there was one, I think the Jets were on a power play or something where they had the puck in the opponent's zone. Someone made a pass back to him. He had no pressure on him, and he just fumbled the puck. That's literally the only thing I can think of. Shout out, say something in chat here if you think that there was something else that I may be missing. But regardless, very interesting to see him pulled out for Kyle Capobianco. Honestly, I think for this game, it's just when games have a lot of goals, it's almost just better to roll through the entire game and just kind of make points and comments here and there about how we're feeling throughout the game. So game starts off, Lowry's line always starts. It is what it is. Sorry. Before I even get there, I forgot to mention the other lineup change. Connor Scheifele-Wheeler dismantled. Again, a great choice by Rick Bowness. He ends up swapping Blake Wheeler and Nino Niederreiter. So then you have Connor Scheifele-Nino. Ehlers Stenlund. Stenlund, Wheeler. And then, like I said, that third line of Barron, Lowry, and Nemesnikov. And then the fourth line of, what's his name? Saku Manalainen, David Gustafsson, and Axel Jonsson-Fjallby. So, interesting change there. I really like the change of putting Nino up on that top line. Personally, I would have loved to see Ehlers go there as well, too. But I digress. It is what it is. I think that that's probably what would work when the Jets are at full strength. Dubois is back in the lineup. That way you can get Dubois and Connor back together. And then you can have Nino with Scheifele, and they seem to work really well together. And same thing with Ehlers, I'm sure, would add another offensive punch to that top line. But then, again, the other thing is Adam Lowry and Kevin Stenlund switched, which, coming into this game, we'll talk about Lowry's goal, finally getting the monkey off the back. I really like this move. I've been, screaming since the start of the season. It's not since the start of the season. Since Kevin Stenlund kind of emerged as a really useful piece on this team. I've been kind of yelling and hoping for a bit more usage for him, especially with all the injuries the Jets have faced. I don't necessarily think he should be 2C, but, you got to do what you got to do in this game here. And I actually really like the decision to put Lowry back on that third line, especially considering the fact that he's had trouble scoring. It doesn't really make sense to have him playing with, again, another big guy in Blake Wheeler who's a bit slower, and then having a guy like Nick Ehlers not really have anyone to play kind of at his level. So I actually really liked this change. Unfortunately, that line didn't get a ton of ice time, but Blake Wheeler, getting only 10 minutes of ice time is fine by me, or 11 minutes of ice time, fine by me. I think that that's probably a good sweet spot for him. But yeah, let's just dive into the game. Game starts off, and we all get a scare to our system. Early on, Blake Wheeler, line 2 has a good cycle going on. Puck goes to Blake Wheeler. He ends up making a really poor turnover. On the back check, ends up hooking whoever it was. And 90 seconds in, the Jets are on the penalty kill. Where have we seen this before? I certainly immediately started feeling very cynical, very, oh my God, are we doing this again? Are you seriously doing this again? And, 13 seconds into the power play, Leon Draisaitl scores a nice little rebound off of a Bouchard's shot. Again, 13 seconds into the power play, and the Jets are down 1-0, less than 2 minutes in. Oh boy, where's this game gonna go? Continuing on, Oilers ends up drawing a trip from Matthias Janmark. Power play one goes on for their minute. They get a couple good chances. Nothing goes in. PP2 comes on. They also have a pretty all right, a pretty all right go at it. And the PP2 was actually pretty interesting today. You've got Nikolai Ehlers playing with Neil Pionk, which is pretty standard. Kevin Stenlund along with Adam Lowry, which is there, and then Nate Schmidt's usually on that power play. So who fills in? Kyle Capobianco. Not the standard offensive defenseman that you would assume, but I'm sure. I just don't get why you wouldn't maybe put like a Nemesnikov there, give him a chance. I don't know. I feel like there are other options you can go with there, but clearly I'm wrong because, again, we'll talk about Capobianco and his offensive abilities very shortly here. But my one thought while looking at this here was why, in a game where the Jets have such a depleted lineup, Pierre-Luc Dubois is hurt, Cole Perfetti's hurt, Mason Appleton's hurt. I'm really surprised that they decided to still go with the 2 power play system that they've been running. Personally, I think that it would be best to try and load up on the top unit, which would include Ehlers there. And I think that they, despite the, back and forth between him and Scheifele about, positioning this and that, I still think they can figure something out and make it work. When they played together on that power play, they were rotating. So I think there is options there, but who knows, maybe Rick Bowness views putting Blake Wheeler on that top unit as loading up on that unit. But regardless, play goes on. I'm not the coach for a reason, blah, 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 whatever. Casey gets a good slot chance off of a nice little battle that Mark Scheifele and Nino Niederreiter had down low. So again, just fantastic to see the Jets battling. One of the biggest things that I was looking for here was to see the Jets, first of all, tighten up to, I wrote I meant to bring this up before, but I wrote a like keys for success, what the Jets need to do. I wrote this out before the game. And those keys for success are 1, less penalties. So we're already not doing great on the start. Shoot the puck, which actually did really well tonight. We'll talk about that again. Tighten up. There were far too many turnovers last night. Far too many, errant passes. Far too many. They were just a little loose in the sense of they just didn't. It felt like the Jets didn't really care, other than maybe the frustration near the end. And then we needed a 60-minute performance. That was by far the biggest thing, especially when you're playing a team like the Oilers. They're so good at coming back. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl absolutely murdered us tonight. So yeah, like I said, we'll continue on. But then we get our first Jets goal of the game. Mark Scheifele ends up tipping a shot from Dylan DeMello, which was passed to him by Nino Niederreiter. A nice little play by Nino on the wall. The broadcast was good at making sure that everyone knew that Dylan DeMello called for that pass. I didn't really notice it, but he very clearly made it known that he was open. Nino hears the call, passes it over to him. He rips a shot, and Mark Scheifele gets a beautiful tip in front. Well done. This is fantastic. This first line in this first period was absolutely cooked. They were just what was so nice to see. And I purely say that this is due to Nino. Nino has just been a revelation for this team. I have loved him so much because he goddamn works. He works for the puck. If he doesn't have the puck, he's not like always, if he's in the open space for, a potential scoring chance, he'll obviously get open for that. But my favorite thing is that if there's a player nearby who's getting pressured, he's not waiting out in the open slot for a pass that's not going to come to him because the guy's got 2, defenders on him. He's getting up right in close. He's giving great support to his teammates, giving them options and allowing for the Jets to, 1, find space, 2, actually get some zone time. Like that was the biggest frustration from one of the biggest frustrations. I'm not going to say the biggest, but one of the biggest frustrations from yesterday's game was just the Jets couldn't get anything going. It was almost like a bit of a repeat going back to the Jets series in the Canadian division against the Habs, where every single time the Habs would press on them, the Jets would finally get the puck. They'd just chip it out and not really get anything going offensively. So tonight, absolutely fantastic. Again, a good big credit to Rick Bowness for making that change and seeing that Blake Wheeler wasn't working on that line. It just felt like they were always out of sync, whereas now it felt like with Nino there was always support. There was always an extra man to find the puck. And if the puck wasn't necessarily in the Jets' possession, he was battling to make sure that the Jets could get the puck back, make a nice little pass to Dylan DeMello. Shot on, fantastic. I've only talked about 2 goals here, so I'm gonna have to get through it. We're still in the first period, but then the Oilers, the Jets score a second goal. My bad, I misread my notes here. The Oilers are trying to clear the puck, and Neil Pionk does this weird little chop. It's just kind of, I wouldn't say that he was actually trying to necessarily get it over to Josh Morrissey. It didn't seem like one of those things where he was actually necessarily trying to make a play in regards to push the offense, but rather just try and get it off of the Oilers defense or the Oilers forwards stick. But regardless, he smacks the puck away from an Oiler who's about to break out with the puck. It goes over to the other side of the blue line. Josh freaking Morrissey, give this man the captaincy already. Rips the shot on. It looks like it might go off Nino. It turns out it ends up going in off of the Edmonton Oiler player. And Josh Morrissey is back on the scoreboard. I said this back again in the LA Kings game. Again, a very similar game to this one where it was a big high-scoring game, back and forth. When Josh Morrissey isn't on, it's very obvious for the Jets. It just feels like they're lacking such a critical weapon on their defense, or just in general. When he is on, like, you can just tell it's infectious to the team. It feels like there's so much more dynamic, so much more movement, so many more opportunities being created, and just absolutely fantastic. So happy to see him score here tonight. He deserved it. Great shot. He was playing great tonight. Fantastic. And then, the next little note I have here, just to finish off the first period, Nemestikov is battling. This guy wins a nice little puck battle in the corner, ends up driving the net and shooting. Again, it's not a big play, but it's just something that is so nice to see. And already just from this game here today, I'm going to talk about him more. He is such an upgrade to that third line. The rotating cast that we've seen on the third line for the Jets this year has been pretty frustrating. Like, how many times have we seen, Saku Manalainen's up there, he's not working, okay, well, let's try Carson Kuhlman, he's not working, let's give AJF a chance, he's doing okay, not great. That line has kind of really missed a third guy who really fits that third line mold. So again, I gotta give credit. I think that he was a good pickup. Again, to be very clear, we just wanted more. I just wanted more. And listen, it is what it is. Chevy wants this team to figure it out. They got a lot of time to figure it out. There's as we approach the end of the season, there's still a good month or so before the Stanley Cup playoffs come around, and by then the Jets will need to be in much better form. I don't know why I'm getting ahead of myself. I still have 2 more periods to digest. But again, first period, and this, I don't know how long it's been since I've been able to say this. The Winnipeg Jets outshoot their opponent. They outshoot them 13-10. Again, just a great, a much better period by the Jets. Rough start with the penalty and the goal against, but I think that the Jets did well to rally around that, continue playing hard. Whereas, yesterday, it felt like as soon as that goal went in, it was over. Like, it felt like the game was pretty much done by that point. The Jets felt so deflated. Whereas tonight, it was more of a, come on, guys, let's get on our horses. Let's put some work in and get this done. So again, a lot less turnovers. Jets are shooting. They're winning puck battles. Oh my God, this is a completely different team. Whew. Anyways, that was the first period. I'll take a look into chat, see if anyone's saying anything. Let's see here. Doug B, there was some forechecking for me that was nice. I completely agree. I'm so happy to so happy to see a lot more work going in by the boys. Where is from Mr. Law? Where is Ehlers? He's not playing well and he needs to play better. This guy respectfully sucks right now. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think that he is just like tonight. He wasn't that noticeable. There were definitely some moments he had that weren't great. The turnover, I believe, is in the third period. When the Jets are trying to shut it down, that was an awful turnover. You can't take that. And I completely get why, Bones would have potentially benched him after that. I can't remember if he did or not. I think he did, but regardless, I think that he's just had his ice time cut down and he can't really prove to everyone that he is a special player and great, a fantastic player if he isn't getting the ice time. I mean, tonight he only played let me look here, 10 minutes and 45 seconds. But alas, Jets win. So I'm not complaining about his ice time. I just think that I think that there is some sort of weird feeling around Ehlers that he's cause for why the Jets season kind of went off track, just because when he came back from injury, I just think that just coincides with when the rest of the team stopped, kind of following the Bones system and falling back into old ways. But alas, that's I digress. That's a whole other thing for another day. I do appreciate your comment, though. I'm happy to discuss all of this, and you are entitled to your opinion, of course. But yeah, second period starts. A good little, good little back and forth. The first line gets some good zone time. Same thing with the. Hello. Oh. Uh-oh. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. My mic's real finicky sometimes. Anyways, not the point. The Lowry line was kind of tasked with shutting down the McDavid line tonight, and I honestly felt like they did pretty well. I'm gonna go looking at Money Puck just to see the expected goals on both sides, but they did really well to shut down McDavid. Of course, Leon Draisaitl was on his own line for most of the night, and he was a killer. But regardless, I just feel like we got to give a little shout out to that third line. I think they did really well at shutting down McDavid for most of it. Although now that I look, it looks like there were multiple lines that McDavid was on, and with Draisaitl. But regardless, it is what it is. You can only shut him down so much. And again, they still scored 5 goals, so they're still really good. Anyways, but anytime that your third line can take on another team's first line and do good, or be adequate, be pretty even with them chances wise, that's great. Happy to see that. Let's see. Menelainen ends up drawing a penalty on Hyman, but then the Oilers score shorthanded. This was a really weird one, and I was trying to figure out where to. Not necessarily put the blame, but just to see, what maybe could have changed to, if Rick Bowness and the guys are in the video room, who can they pinpoint, maybe should made a different decision. 44, so Josh Morrissey, there's a weird loose puck in front of him, in the zone. He ends up not going for this, and I actually initially was like, you got to go for that. I definitely thought that he could have gotten to that puck. But what he did was probably the right move. I definitely would say that it was definitely the right move, considering, it ended up being a 2-on-1 against him. Mark Scheifele ends up back checking. He isn't really able to get onto I think it was Nugent Hopkins who was coming up the ice. He ends up passing it over to Matthias Janmark. He, shoots a backdoor puck in behind Hellebuck. Not much hell he can do on that one. But what I think I would, if I could go back and change how this happened, I think Josh Morrissey needs to take the pass option there and leave the shot for either one, Scheifele to put more pressure onto that player, but also have a little bit of faith in your goalie. You got one of the best goalies in the league. But anyways, I digress. It's not the biggest thing, but again, shorthanded goals do sting a little bit more, and now it is tied up. And then, PP keeps going on. There was a lot of movement here. One thing I will really say, there was one specific shot that made me go, okay, this is exactly what we need to get more of from the Jets. I think the play ends up going down low where, on the right side where, Kyle Connor is. He ends up passing it back up after all of the Oilers players get drawn down low, as it looks like it's about to be, a pass in front to the slot to Nino or across to Wheeler. But he ends up going back up top to Josh Morrissey. And in a panic, everyone goes, "Oh, we got to get in front of Josh Morrissey's shot." Pass goes across to Mark Scheifele. He takes a one-timer. Doesn't go in, but this is exactly what the Jets need to do more of. If you keep getting opportunities like this, if you keep getting the defenders on the PK scrambled and running around, that's how you create your chaos. That's how you get goals. So it was at least good to see that the power play had a bit of a different look to it. Again, I really, really like Nino Niederreiter in the middle there, giving options to other players. Again, making there was so many times where he kept the puck in the zone, winning puck battles. I can't stop singing his praises. He's been fantastic. Anyways, power play ends, no goal. Oilers come back down. Draisaitl picks off a bad pass from Scheifele. It was a bit of not an outlet pass, a breakout pass, but it ends up being a pretty bad one considering it's behind Nino Niederreiter. Maybe he shouldn't have been that high up, but regardless, he just walks in and roofs it backhand. And good God, you can't give Draisaitl any room in the net. Like, this guy finds the tiniest little squeak. This goal was beautiful, fantastic, the tiniest little thing. But oh my God, look at the goal from last game where he literally had the imprint of a puck of room in the net, and he roofs it, scores, fantastic. And then, anyways, Jets are down 3-2, and then baby, Adam Lowry. Oh my God. Throw the monkey off your back. 35 games since he scored a goal. Oh, he looked so happy. The celebration was huge. The entire team just looked so happy for the guy. It's been a long time coming. He's deserved it for a while now. A great goal. Brendan Dillon ends up breaking the puck in, gets a nice little zone entry, and he does a nice little handoff to Morgan Barron. Morgan Barron rips the shot, and you know it, Adam Lowry tips the puck in. Play Darude Sandstorm. He's back, baby. Fantastic. So happy for him. And then again, we're like halfway through the second, and it's 3-3 after the Lowry goal. Now, Kyle Capobianco comes streaking down the right side. Who am I to say that this guy's in an offensive dynamo? Walks in, rips it short side over Jack Campbell's shoulder. He probably should have had that one if we're being honest here, but Jack Campbell isn't the greatest goalie, but LOL. Suck it, Oiler fans. You got him for 5 years. That's really funny. So, hey, great goal. Fantastic to see. Was that his, what was that? No, sorry, it wasn't Capobianco's first goal. It might have been. No, I don't think it was. But Vlad Nemestikov gets an assist on this. So Vladdy gets his first point as a Winnipeg Jet. Really happy to see it. And then at this point, the momentum's flowing. The vibes are up. The CLC is rocking. Everyone's having fun. A bunch of shots come in on net. Jack Campbell makes a couple of nice saves on Neil Pionk. I think Gustafsson had one, and Fjallby as well too. And then the Jets take a too many men call. Again, you got to stay away from those penalties. I'm not sure who is to blame here. We didn't really see it on the broadcast. I remember as it was going to commercial being like, that looks like too many men. Is that what they called it for? Alas, that is what it is. And then again, you got to stop giving the Oilers power plays. You have to. They win the draw. It goes back to the D. Bouchard makes a nice pass to McDavid, who's down low. He passes it across to Leon Draisaitl, who's just standing there net front. Dylan DeMello tries to get under a stick. Unfortunately, he's unable to. Leon Draisaitl puts it back home, and that's a Hattie for number 29 on the Oilers. Just insane. This guy is phenomenal. 40th and 41st goals of the season. I could, if I'm not incorrect, and then I guess the 39th earlier on. But hey, 4-4. Jets strike back. Morgan Barron. This play again, we got to give credit where it's due. This play is completely created by Josh Morrissey. There's a weird neutral zone play where the puck is coming up the ice, and Josh Morrissey decides to pinch, which very aggressive, high risk, high reward. But hey, it works out in the Jets' favor. He ends up poking the puck up the boards. Morgan Barron hops on after a change, drives the puck in, puts it 5-hole on Jack Campbell, and just another guy who Big Selly, real happy to score. He's deserved one. He's been one of the few players during this Jets skid who has really actually worked his ass off. I'm really happy for Morgan Barron. He deserves this goal, and I'm just happy to have him on my team. He's been such a fun player. He's one of my favorites in the bottom six. Very happy to have him on our goal, and then on our team, and then almost right away after, he almost gets another goal when Vlad Nemestikov makes a nice little pass in zone, or pass to the front of the net. He gets a little one-timer. Unfortunately, Jack Campbell ends up making the save. But alas, we continue on, and then we get a very interesting, a nice little fight. This all kind of starts from Saku Menelainen finishing a big check on McDavid, a very clean check, note it. So that's a big thing. I gotta emphasize that this was a completely clean check. Great to see it. Making sure that the emotions are high. Let McDavid know he's got to keep his head up, bud. And Darnell Nurse just immediately strips the gloves, goes after Saku Menelainen. Apparently there was some bad blood from last game, but Menelainen was like, no, I don't want to fight you. I just clean hit the guy. But at this point, Nurse has no gloves on. Adam Lowry steps in, and we get a heavyweight tilt. Some rights, lefts thrown back and forth. I don't really know who won the fight, but Darnell Nurse is the one who hits the ice first. So let's just chalk that up into a Lowry win. And actually, you know what? Oh my God, did Adam Lowry have any assists tonight? Did he have a Gordie Howe hat trick? No, he didn't. Damn, that would have been a phenomenal. That would have been so cool. But anyways, I'm sure he'll get one very, very soon. And then what happens is Darnell Nurse gets called for unsportsmanlike. I don't know why they didn't call it instigator. Maybe because there's an extra. I think there might be an extra 10-minute misconduct that's attached to that. If so, call the rule. There's a reason why they added the 10-minute to that. I thought that this was a great call, because you can't just, when someone makes a clean hit, decide I'm gonna fight you. You can't just do that. Jay Woodcroft would obviously argue, as he did in between the intermissions, that apparently he was trying to argue that Adam Lowry should have got the instigator, because Nurse wasn't really wanting to fight him, but rather he wanted to fight Menelainen. Who's to say? Whatever. I think the guy who initially strips his gloves and goes after someone should be the one who gets the instigator, but alas, I digress. But Jets go onto the power play here, and boy, oh boy, give him the captaincy. Josh Norrisy comes in. He has a couple, on the power play, he's got multiple shots from the top of the zone. The second one ends up going in. And then we get just such a nice and fun, wholesome moment. Mark Scheifele tackles him onto the ground. These guys are loving it. They're having fun. It is now 6-4 going into the third period. So the second period, absolutely crazy. 7 goals in total. A huge back and forth period. The Jets come back out on top, 2 goals up. And then this is where it's the most important. They have to come out now and shut this down. Shut it down. You need to win this game. Do you I cannot even understand. I can't even think about where I would be personally, where this fan base would be, where this team would be if they lost this game. I genuinely think that they would have been so dejected. This could have completely ruined the season, in my opinion. But again, they finished the second period down with 33 shots, 21 against. They're looking real good. They're out shooting their opponents. They're up 2 goals. Let's go. I'm trying to look here. There's just a couple plays from the first line. A couple really nice ones. Nino almost got his first goal. Then we get the absolutely insane Connor McDavid tries making a pass over to what's his name? Leon Draisaitl. It goes off, I think, Brendan Dillon's stick and goes into the air. Leon Draisaitl bats this thing out of the air. It goes over to Zach Hyman. He gloves it down, puts a shot on, and Connor Hellebuck comes up huge. I'm going to say this a couple times in this period. Connor Hellebuck comes up huge. Unfortunately, though, one where he couldn't come up big. Off of a draw, Bukestad, a new addition to the Oilers roster, wins the puck back. The D-man shoots it. It's this weird like pinball. Puck goes left, puck goes right. It goes out in front to, I think it was Devon Shore, who makes a nice little pass back to Bukestad, and he is not going to miss that. He pretty much walks the puck into the net. Again, that's just not one where like what is Hellebuck supposed to do? He's already playing the rebound to the right side. He can't be responsible for both of these guys. And it's 6-5, and boy oh boy, it's getting scary in here. Again, this is a must-win game. Oh my god. The Jets have won one game in their last 8, I want to say. Come obviously before this game. So putting a bow on this thing was really, really important. Very important. Wow, just yeah, anyways, and then we keep going on, and Morgan Barron takes a pretty soft interference penalty in front. Listen, this is one where I'm like, Jay Woodcroft did talk to the refs in between and go, it should have been the other way around, blah, blah, blah. And so, they had a talk. What's going on here, guys? Sorry. He ends up having Jay Woodcroft ends up having a talk with the refs. I don't know. Maybe this is one of those ones where you go, okay, we got to give them one. I don't know why this was called. It was kind of soft, but at the same time, by the book, it kind of is interference. He does knock Broberg down. But yeah, it is what it is. It's very frustrating, but this penalty kill is huge. The Jets absolutely need this again. A 1-goal game, and they come up with such a huge penalty kill. So good. So happy they get through that. No goals against. Connor Hellebuck comes up big on the PK, as he always does. He is the best penalty killer. He's the reason why the Jets have the second best penalty kill in the league. But game continues on. There are a couple scary sights. Kyle Capobianco makes a pretty bad pizza giveaway in our own zone. Luckily, the Oilers are not able to capitalize on it. Then it leads into the Nick Ehlers turnover at our own blue line on a simple, zone exit, which leads to more time in the Jets zone. The Jets get kind of, a little bit. They kind of went into a turtle for this third period. I don't blame them. But they get completely outshot. I can't remember what it was. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they definitely got outshot. At one point, it was like 13-5. I would imagine it probably got up to, 15, 16, 17, 18 shots in that period. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I could pull it up. But again, we're just going to continue on. The main point is Connor Hellebuck comes up huge. In one shift, he absolutely robs Connor McDavid. He absolutely robs what's his name? Again, Leon Draisaitl, who's looking for his 4th of the night. And the Jets are surviving so far. Again, big saves, huge save on Zach Hyman on a 2-on-1. He gets a nice pass over from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. But again, Hellebuck is huge. And then we get to the final couple minutes. The goalie is pulled, and Vlad Nemestikov, new guy to the team, shows his worth, shows what he can do. We can see why Bones wanted him on the team. Huge block, takes one for the team. Then, again, the last few minutes, we've got Sacramento line on the ice. We've got Blake Wheeler. We've got David Gustafson, Pionk, and Morrissey, and things are going crazy. But the Jets get a lot of sticks on it, are unable. They don't give any lanes to the Oilers. And then, again, Sacramento line has a big block. And then Dylan DeMello grabs the puck, throws it off the boards, and oh, hey, that's looking good. That's looking real good. The puck goes into the net. Ladies and gentlemen, your Winnipeg Jets win 7-4. Again, not at all a perfect game. If you get scored on 5 times, that's an issue. Like, that's got to be something you fix. But again, you're playing against two of the best offensive players in so long. So I don't completely blame them. I don't think that there were, a ton of really big, huge mistakes. I think that this was a great game for the Jets to slowly start returning to form. Again, going back to those keys for success, less penalties, check. Shoot the puck, we outshot them, check. Tighten up, absolutely, for sure, check. And a 60-minute performance, the Jets come out on top, 7-4. Again, my honorable mentions for the game. Nemesnikov, welcome to the team, bud. Happy to have you. You definitely make the team better, that's for sure. Nino, you've been fantastic. I'm just so glad to see someone working their ass off on their top line. He's the perfect third guy on a skilled line. Really happy to have him. Morrissey, 2 goals in this game. He's looking great. When he's on, the team is on. And, of course, the man in behind, he got pulled yesterday in a mercy pull. Connor Hellebuck stands tall, keeps the game for the Jets, and they end up winning 7-5. Did I say 7-4 before? Oopsie, sorry. But yeah, great game. And again, this is the team. This is the Jets team going forward. So, my main thing I want to end off the show on is, there is reason to have some optimism. Some. The Jets definitely aren't as bad as they were over the past few weeks. That's one thing that's for sure. They certainly are, they've shown they aren't as good of a team as they were in December, but the truth is somewhere in the middle there. And they have virtually the same team with some upgrades as they did when they were, one of the best teams in the league. So Chevy has put his confidence in this team. Hopefully it's not, hopefully it's not for nothing. Again, when this team is healthy, we'll see what they really can do. I would imagine the lines look something along the lines of, I would imagine they keep, I don't know. Do they keep Connor with Scheifele? Who's to say? Probably something along the lines of Connor, Scheifele, Wheeler, Ehlers, Dubois, Perfetti, Morgan Barron. No, actually, no, because there's no way that they put Wheeler on the third line if Nemesnikov's there, and there's no way they put Wheeler on the fourth line. I don't know. I'm not the coach. That's for him to figure out. But the point is, the Jets still have, like a month or so of the season, a month and a week, I think. I think the season ends like mid-April, I want to say. I could be wrong. I'll have to look into that. My apologies for not having that in front of me. It is April 13th is their last game. So the Jets have a month. This is their team. They're going to get some guys back from injury, which will be very helpful. But other than that, this is the team. It is now on them. There's nothing else Chevy can do to help them. They've got to figure this out. Tonight was a step in the right direction. They're scoring. They're shooting the puck. There's a lot more urgency on the team. They're tightening up. But hey, the Central is for the taking right now. Obviously, what's their name? Dallas ended up playing Colorado tonight, so no matter what, you're going to get 2 points in that game. Luckily, it didn't go to any sort of extra time. So as we sit right now, the Western Conference, or at least the Central, we've got the Stars, 63 games played and 81 points. They're starting to, I wouldn't say run away with it, but they're definitely further ahead than they once were. The Wild have 62 games played, 76 points. The Jets are 2 points behind, but the Wild do have a game in hand. And then the Avalanche are sitting with 60 games played, so 3 less than the Jets, and they have only 1 less point. My point in saying this, the Stars being at 81 points is not far away. The Jets, if they can return to form, the Central is for the taking. If not, the wild card is not too far out. The Flames are only have 67 points right now, so they're only 7 points behind the Jets right now. Jets could miss playoffs. Next month is the most important month of the year for them, other than, of course, May, June, if we even get to those points. But it's up to them. It's up to them to figure out how they want to play. It's up to the coach to make sure to put them on the right track for success. Tonight was a great step in that direction. We still got some things to work out. Still got to work out some kinks in the system. Make sure you're not relying on Connor Hellebuck that much. Again, 5 goals is too much to allow. But alas, the Jets come out with a much-needed win, and I am happy. Oh my God, am I ever happy. I was so much dreading coming onto this show if the Jets lost. I didn't know what I was going to say. I really didn't. But alas, if ifs and buts are candy and nuts, whatever, however that saying finishes. But anyways, I think honestly that's where I'm going to end it here. Just a great game, a lot of fun, back and forth. I'm going to be at the next game, which is on, I think, is it Tuesday? No, Monday. Monday against the Sharks. I'll be in the CLC. If you see me, say hi. But other than that, you guys will be here with Liz. And, and a great guest. She'll be joined by Rachel Dory here on the Game Overcast. Please, if you're here, please do like the stream. It really helps us with the algorithm. This was a fun show. I'm so happy to talk about a win. Oh my God. But like I said, I'll be back with you guys. When is it? On the 8th? The 8th. I'll be back on the mic. Liz is only popping in for one game. She's unfortunately got a busy schedule right now. But have yourselves a wonderful evening. Enjoy the remainder of your Saturday. I got to head out and play some beer league at like 11:30 at night. So that's going to be a real late one for me, but alas, like I said, have fun, stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you all for tuning in.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.